have to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Oodie for sponsoring today's video and for working with me again. I love my Oodie so much, and I know that if you give it a chance, you guys would absolutely love it too. Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name's Elise. It's great to see you. Thanks for clicking on this video. If you're not new, welcome back. It's always great to see you guys. Oh, my voice is like doing things today. The dust and the allergens have been really bad, so please excuse my frog voice. And let's talk some books. The books that I'm reading on this video are my most highly anticipated book releases of 2023. These are books that I have been waiting months, if not a full year for, to come out, and I finally got the chance to read them. The first book in part one of my most highly anticipated book releases of 2023 is Grim and Barrett by Juliette Cross. This is the sixth and final book in the Stay a Spell series. It follows the last youngest of the Savoy sisters, and her name is Clara. It also follows Henry. We have seen throughout the first 5 and a novella of 5.5 books, Henry and Clara interacting. It's not really spoilers, but the two of them just kind of have this like gravity towards each other. They just keep being drawn towards each other. And at the beginning of this book, Clara just kind of finally decides to stop waiting around and to go after Henry. She's like, I'm done waiting. So that's kind of what starts the story. Of course, as Juliette Cross is wont to do, there is mystery, there is action, there is magic. It is set in this modern fantasy setting in New Orleans. This whole series is fantastic. The next book of this video is Meet Me at the Lake by Carley Fortune. This is, I think it's a companion novel to Every Summer After. I might be wrong, so please don't quote me on that. I do know that it's still small town, second chance romance between Fern and Will. Apparently they spend like a magical 24 hours together and then are supposed to meet the next summer, and Will never shows up. I guess we're gonna see why, because apparently like 10 years later he shows up, but he's helping. A suitcase is in tow and an offer to help on his lips. I really loved Every Summer After. I love Carley Fortune's writing style. I have really high hopes for this one. I'm a little nervous. Look at this cover. It's so beautiful. I love small town romances. I have really been enjoying second chance romances lately, so I'm excited to see how this one goes. The next and final book in this video is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. I read When in Rome earlier this year in January, and I loved it. It was so cute. It's just like being wrapped in a warm fuzzy blanket, like warm hugs, rainbows and sunshines vibes. Sarah Adams is known for like writing very cozy books, very low stakes, slow burn. When in Rome was the epitome of all of those things, so I'm really excited for Practice Makes Perfect. It follows Noah's youngest sister, Noah being the main male character of When in Rome, and she's just kind of known as like a goody two-shoes angel of the town. The town's very protective of her. She's kind of tired of that. She wants to date. She wants to be taken seriously like an adult, and so she kind of asks for help from Will, who is Amelia's bodyguard from the first book. She kind of asks him to help her out, give her some dating advice and some dating practice and things like that. He's kind of stoic, has tattoos, bad boy vibes, so she's hoping that it'll help the town start seeing her in a different way. These two books and Grim and Barrett, they're all pink. I love that so much. Not planned at all, but like, here we go. I am so excited to read these, to finally read these this year, and keep watching if you're interested in reading updates. Sorry to interrupt, but I have to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Oodie for sponsoring today's video and for working with me again. I cannot express how much I adore my Oodie products. My robe, which you guys have probably seen in a few more videos since I last posted my collaboration with them, and my new giant Oodie that they so kindly sent me. I have been obsessed with it. I use it all the time, even in the middle of summer here in Texas. It's been brutal, but y'all, the AC has been even more brutal. I am a cold girly, y'all, and this Oodie is the perfect solution. I am one of those people who needs to have a blanket with me at all times. And the nice thing about the Oodie is that it is a blanket, but it's a blanket with cuff sleeves. I can cook with my Oodie on. I can brush my teeth and wash my face without worrying about getting my sleeves wet. I can do all those kinds of things, but also get to snuggle up with it and stay warm and cozy while I'm reading or just chilling at home. Something that makes the Oodie stand out is its kind of heft. It's not heavy, but there is more substance to it, and so it has this really delicious like weight to it that's very reassuring. It's very snuggly, and I just can't say more good things about it. If you can't tell, I love my Oodie so much, and I know that if you give it a chance, you guys would absolutely love it too. Especially you readers out there, I know you probably love curling up and reading a book as much as I do. I'll put my code right here and down below in the descriptions and in the comments just to make sure. Once again, thank you so much to the Oodie for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check links and discounts in the description. And let's get back to talking about some of my most anticipated reads of 2023. Hey everyone, I just wanted to hop on here and give you guys an update on Grim and Barrett. I'm currently about 46% through the book and I'm having the best time ever. I'm kind of drawing it out a little bit because I don't want it to end and I don't want the series to end, but I'm in a group on Instagram, kind of like a book club for the Stay a Spell series, and we're supposed to talk about it soon, so I have to finish it soon so I can be part of the chat. It seems kind of insta love, but if you read the rest of the series first, is you see Clara and you see Henry interacting with each other, and you know that they're crushing on each other based on things that they've said and done. It's so obvious. It's literally said in the previous books. So now we've already experienced all of that. We've seen all of their interactions, and Clara's finally like, I'm gonna get my man. And she does. She goes after him, and Henry is just so like, is this real? Is this happening? And it's so wholesome and so cute, and they're finally getting closer and learning more about their histories and some of their insecurities. It is so sweet. I think we're finally getting to kind of the twist, or what's going to add more tension to the plot. It's been pretty light and fluffy so far, mostly just Clara like going after her man, which I'm enjoying so much, but I think around 50% is when we're gonna hit that part where things get a little bit sticky and more action starts to happen, so I'm really looking forward to that. I have so many cute, adorable quotes that I have just been literally squealing about. My friend Willivon, she's already read the book. She was lucky enough to be on the ARC team, and so I've been like screenshotting and sending it to her and being like, ah! She's like, I know! So that's been fun being able to talk to her about it, but I just love this series so much. You should read it. Hey friends, what's up? It is a hot, sunny day. My family and I are camping down in South Texas, near the coast. And I am in all of these clothes because the mosquitoes are insane. But I wanted to talk to you guys and do an update about Grim and Barrett. I did finish it yesterday. This book was a roller coaster. I feel like the beginning was just so squeal worthy because all of the things between Henry and Clara were happening, and we have just been waiting for that for 5.5 books. So it was finally happening, and then things kind of died down a little bit. I don't want to say it got boring, but it got calm. And then, holy crap, this event happened. I'm not gonna say what, but I'm going to show you guys my reaction. About 80% through, this event happened. I did not see it coming. It shook me so much. And then the ending happened and everything worked out, but I was like, tears were falling down my face. I was eating lunch while I was reading, but then when this scene happened, I couldn't eat anymore. I stopped and I had to like shove it away. I was like, I can't eat right now. But it was a good book. It was a great ending to the series. I'm so satisfied and happy. I loved the last chapter in the epilogue. It's very bittersweet. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and tell you guys. I think the next book that I'm gonna read from my most anticipated 2023 releases is Meet Me at the Lake, because I have already started that. I'm like 50 pages in, so I think that would be really easy to just kind of like Hi friends, hi! Had a bit of a moment with the dog. She does not like when it's windy, and it's very windy outside. She is very shook. So I had to calm her down and make her feel better. I'll tell you, investing in a really good one of these is worth it. I just got off of work and I had a few reading updates that I wanted to give you guys. First off, Meet Me at the Lake by Carley Fortune. I genuinely can't remember the last time I updated you guys on this. I don't even know if I made any updates while I was reading it. So I really loved Every Summer After. It was a story that really resonated with me. The vibes were immaculate. I just wasn't feeling this one. I felt like I got about halfway through and I was just kind of like, what has even happened? Meet Me at the Lake follows Fern, and she just inherited the resort that her mom owned because at the very beginning of the story, we learned that her mom passed away in a car accident. Then it jumps to a past timeline where her and this guy named Will meet very randomly, and they just have this whirlwind day together and just like really have this connection. They're supposed to meet 1 year later at the lake. He doesn't show up. And then who comes to help the resort that apparently is not doing very well? None other than Will himself. So ensues them kind of working together. My gosh, that's a loud airplane, goodness. So ensues them working together and kind of not really rehashing their history. Will is just so close-lipped. I don't really know what Will says or does. If I were in Fern's place, I wouldn't really want Will as a partner because there was just no, like, they did things, but they didn't say things. And I guess I'm just the type of person that I need that verbal, you doing things. I need action and words, you know? And Will just didn't live up to that. He was some action, but no words. And so the relationship just felt a little lacking to me personally, how I would want a relationship to be. Therefore, I had a really hard time connecting with their relationship and them as characters. I had a hard time connecting with both Fern and Will because Fern is very much like, do you want this? I can't really tell because you do one thing, but you say another thing. Again, I need both words and action for it to really hit for me. And this book did not live up to that, in my opinion. Yeah. Will some people absolutely love this and adore this and connect with this book? Absolutely, they will. Did I? No. So anyway, on to the next highly anticipated read of 2023. I'll see you then. don't have a ton of time, but I really have been wanting to talk to you guys about this book. I finally finished it. Practice makes perfect. I actually ended up finishing it in almost 24 hours. I read pretty much all of it that first day that I started filming it, and then I think I had like 20 pages left the next day. I was just too tired, so I ended up passing out, even though it would have been satisfying to finish it that first day, but that's okay. This book was cute. I can't decide if I liked it the same or more than When in Rome. I can't decide. I think I liked it differently than When in Rome because the plot and the kind of problem was a bit different than When in Rome. This is very bright. Okay, that's a little bit better. So things that I really loved were Will and Annie's banter. It was very cute. I loved the progression of them kind of becoming friends and then slowly kind of falling for each other. I really enjoyed that. The like slow burn was excellent. Sarah Adams is great with slow burn. There were some things that were just a little bit cringy to me, maybe not to everyone, and one of the things is that Annie loves romance novels, specifically like historical romance novels, especially involving pirates, and so she has these like fantasies with her and Will where he's like a pirate, like pillaging her or whatever, and that was just a little cringy to me, but it was very Annie. Like it definitely made sense for her character, but it was just a little bit cringy to me. And also like her conflict was that everyone sees her as like this angelic, must be protected person, even though she's in her late 20s, I think. But she's like, I am not this person. You guys need to stop treating me like this. But she never set up boundaries. And I'm very much an advocate for setting your own boundaries. And you just can't expect people to read your mind and know how you feel about things without you telling them that. And so that kind of made me sad because it had a lot to do with her siblings. So I was glad with the resolution of that, but it's just a problem that could have been fixed with a little bit of communication. So that kind of bothered me a little bit, just because in my personal life that's really important to me, is like being an open communicator and, you know, expressing your boundaries, because people are gonna cross them if they don't know them, you know what I mean? So I think that was more of like a personal thing for me rather than like a Sarah Adams writing kind of thing. I don't know if that made any sense. So it was very cute. I'm very glad I read it. The romance was very cute. It was very cute. I loved both Annie and Will. I loved seeing more of Amelia. We get to see a little bit of Noah. We also get to see more of her sisters. So I'm very excited for the next book, because I just heard that Sarah signed a contract for one more book that we don't know what the project is, but then we also have 2 more books in the When in Rome series, so I'm assuming that those books are gonna be for her sisters. I think the next book is going to be Annie's middle sister. I think I know who the love interest is gonna be. I think Sarah kind of planted the seeds for those in this book, so I'm very excited to read that next book. So far I've read 3 of my most anticipated releases of 2023: Grim and Barrett, Practice Makes Perfect, and Meet Me at the Lake. And the next 3 that I need to read are so I'm not sure which one I'll read next, but I guess you'll have to stick around to see. I'm very bad at this beauty vlogging thing. It's a good thing I did booktube and not beauty vlogging. See you guys later. Hey everyone, I'm back again to wrap things up. Before I continue, have you read any of these books? If you have, I would love to know your opinions down below. What are some of your most highly anticipated reads of 2023? My first read of this video was Grim and Barrett by Juliette. This book was so cute. I squealed so much at the beginning of it. I was really satisfied with how it wrapped up the series as a whole, but I would give it a 4-star, which is a great rating in my opinion. There were some things that happened in the 3rd act that were like crazy and like a little out of nowhere in my opinion. Like it did fit in with the story, but it was just like, holy heck, instead of going like middle ground, Juliette said 1000%, and she did. But the wrapping up of the series as a whole is so well done. I was very happy with it. Next we had Meet Me at the Lake by Carley Fortune. Not for me. A little too slow. I did not like our characters. I just didn't connect with neither Fern nor Will. That was just really difficult for me to be on the train of their romance of this whole book. I didn't think that enough magicalness happened in their 24 hours to warrant Fern still thinking about Will and crushing on him and stuff like that. And maybe that's not what happened. Maybe it's just like once she saw him again, all of that came rushing back to the forefront, which is totally possible, but the way it was written made me think that she had been crushing on him and thinking about him for all of these years. And move on, girly, move on. There's bigger and better fish out there. Loved the writing style, loved the setting. I love small towns. I love resort style books. Very cute in that aspect, but did not quite meet my expectations. And that's probably my fault too, just like having such high expectations. Will I pick up another Carley Fortune book? Absolutely. I love her writing style. We'll definitely give another chance. On to the next. Which is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. Did this meet my expectations? Yeah, it did. It was very warm, cozy, fuzzy, slow burn. I squealed. I like wiggled my toes and stuff like that. But I think I might have liked When in Rome better. And I think a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that. So if you've read both of these, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments below. Still very cute, but there were just some moments that were very Annie. Like, they definitely suited Annie. Like, she loves romance novels, but she'll like imagine herself in those moments, like the pie were coming to rip her bosom and blah, 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 right? TMI. But that was just a little like, oh, not for me. Not bad, just like not my thing. So those moments actually took away for me, but it was still very warm, cozy, fun. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Will I pick up the next Sarah Adams book? You bet your booty on it. I absolutely will. So that wraps things up for my part 1 of my most anticipated book releases of 2023. I do have a few more sitting on this book cart over here, so you'll just have to stay tuned for part 2. I'm thinking about making this a continuous series that I do throughout the years, where I choose a handful of books that I'm really highly anticipating coming out and filming my reactions, my expectations of them versus how they ended up being. So let me know if you'd be interested in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're doing well whenever and wherever you're watching this, and I will see you in my next video. Sending you good vibes. Bye everyone.